you ever stop to wonder how many thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people are in their kitchens just like you, scratching their heads wondering what on earth are we going to have for dinner tonight? Well, it's probably going to need to be tasty, it needs to be healthy, it needs to be nutritious, and it needs to be quick and inexpensive for most of us. A healthy meal high in protein and fibre. Now, if that applies to you today, look no further because I have the answer. And it's all here in this small pack of red lentils. I also have a tin of chopped tomatoes. Maybe not in everybody's stock cupboard, but it could be. It's easy to store and it's there ready for whenever you need it. Lentils and tomatoes could form the start of a healthy, hearty soup here in the UK, but in other parts of the world, not so reliant on herbs, but more on spices, there are lots of ways of using lentils, and that is what we're going to be looking at today. Hello, this is Janet from her kitchen in sunny Worcestershire in the UK, and today we're going to be making a dish that I saw being cooked in an Indian kitchen about 10 years ago. We were very fortunate to have a longish holiday out in India, and we had a delightful travel guide called Divan who took us to places that normal visitors wouldn't normally go. And one of those places was his mother's home. And it was when I was there that I saw her and her daughter-in-law starting to cook a dhal, a lentil dhal. And they began with ghee in the pan and added their spices. And that is the process that I'm going to be using today to show you just what they did. Now, I've just laid out the basic ingredients for you, very plain ingredients. We've got 400 grams of red lentils, about 700 ml of plain water, but you might need a bit more than that, an onion, 1 garlic clove, but you might prefer to have more, chopped tomatoes, table salt. I use ground pepper, and I'm going to be cooking in a knob of butter, but you could use the traditional ghee or one of your own preferred oils, and some lemon juice to taste. Now, as far as the spices are concerned, if you have nothing else in your cupboard, or not at all, you could just go for a basic curry powder, which would work reasonably well. Another one is garam masala, which gives a nice fragrant taste to what you're cooking. Now, the two that I've mentioned in the recipe here are turmeric, which gives it the traditional colour of India, but you don't want to use too much of this, use less rather than more, and some chili powder, and again it's to do with your own personal preference. Other things that you might use are cumin, which these are all part of a curry powder mix, fenugreek, which is a nice flavour in casseroles and things of that sort. You could use cumin seeds, and I've also got some ground coriander here. But what I'm basically saying is this is a basic recipe that you can alter and adapt to your own personal preferences. It's just a starting place, and I hope that you're going to enjoy trying out this. Now, I've just melted a little butter in the bottom of my pot, And I'm going to put in the spices first. I've got a little turmeric, salt and chili powder, and to that, as I said, you can play around with this, a small amount of cumin seed and some fenugreek, but you can do what you like. This could just be a spoonful of curry powder if that's what you've got. So into the pot, stir it around to release the aromas of those spices, and it won't take long. You can already smell it now. There we are, look, they've mixed up in the bottom of the pan. It's on a low to medium heat. And then to that, I'm going to add 1 chopped onion. There we go. You don't want this to be browned, just gently sautéed to make it go translucent. That will probably take a few minutes, 5 minutes or so. I'm also going to add 1 grated clove of garlic. So into the pot. It's already smelling good. And I'm going to turn that down to low-ish heat, put the lid on and leave it for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, it's had 4 minutes and the onions have softened. I'm now going to add a tin of chopped tomatoes. These will need to be blitzed to make them fine. Oh, I've made a mess. Let's clear that up. And then in go the washed lentils. I've run water through this about 3 times to get off the outer layer of the lentils and also to take away some of the starch. There we go. Mix it in. I'm also going to add my water, get rid of 700 mils. Because I've added a tin of tomatoes, this might be quite a runny mixture at the moment, but you can cook it down and get rid of some of that excess if you want to. Right, I'm going to leave that, bring it up to the boil, and then leave it to simmer for about 15 minutes, and we'll see how we go with that. Okay, the mixture is just coming up to the boil. I'm going to put a lid on it now, turn the temperature down and cook for about 15 minutes. I'm going to put the timer on. Now, we've cooked our mixture for 15 minutes. I'm just going to take the top off and let you see what has happened. The mixture has thickened up, the lentils have swelled, and it's quite a thick mixture now, which is really what we need. If you want it to be a bit looser, then add a bit more water. I think it's more like a stew than a soup at this moment in time. The lentils are nice and soft, and what I'm going to do is to take out a few ladles full of the lumpy mixture, blitz the rest of the mixture, and then pop the reserved mixture back in just to give it a bit of texture, but not too much. Again, it depends on your personal taste. And mash down the tomatoes as best you can so that they blend in. Now the mixture is a bit stiff, so I'm going to add a little water, just recently boiled, into the mix and then blend it, see if I need to add any more. Sorry about the noise. Now I'm just going to return the reserved mixture back into the pot and stir it around. I want you to just see. We have a little bit of lumpiness, but quite a smooth mixture below. And that's our pretty much finished dish. Now I'm just going to add 1-2 teaspoons of lemon juice into the mixture, which helps to add to all those lovely fragrances and tastes. And then I'm going to serve it up into my bowl here. Now you need to taste this. This is my own bowl of food, so excuse me for dipping into it. I'm going to add some pepper and a bit more salt. Mix it around. Now remember, you can change the taste of this depending on which spices you use and how much of each of them. Let's try again. That's better. And I'm just going to top it with some coriander, freshly cut coriander, which will give it a nice flavour. I hope you'll try this and enjoy. Now you have enough mixture here for about 6 servings, depending on the portion size. If you don't want to use it all immediately, it will store safely in the fridge for 3 or 4 days, or you can pop it into the freezer where it will stay for 2 or 3 months, and it can be brought out in emergencies or as an extra meal. Very helpful. The dish itself can be served like this as a soup. But you can serve it with basmati or jasmine rice, chapatis, naan bread, or even a pita bread, or a fresh cut piece of good old British bread, wholemeal preferably. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Now, as a final footnote, I just wanted to say that if you are tempted to look online for a dhal, lentil dhal recipe or masoor dhal recipe, you will find that every one you look at is different. A bit like lentil soups in the UK, everybody has their own version. There are regional versions, there are versions from house to house. So I don't think you'll find this exact recipe, and you may want to try one of the other ones that you see. But whatever you do give it a go and adapt it to make it suit your personal taste. If you've enjoyed this video, please will you like, send a comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye for now.